So basically, what I want to say is I got down to knowing about the heresy. I got down to getting rid of Satan. I got down to fixing like what's racism and all that. And I got to get the black uh, sun out of behind the solar sun. I also got to go against AI, which was with the gases, dark matter, and that shit. When it goes into clouds and stealth mode, it's real thick and low, and it's hard to push up when you're not used to dark matter. But I had jets that were flying around that were eight atom cannonballs, whatever, cannon shooters under the flying jet, and I had to get good at this thing as far as being able to do alchemy. And I haven't done alchemy yet, but the fact that I was stupid smoking, like I gotta say I'm stupid as far as smoking, but that was alchemy as far as knowing not to burn, what's the heat, temperature, this and that. And it helped me so much as my case, even though you're like, I don't get it. Well, I gotta remember how to explain it. That looking like it was an ankh, you take out the line, it actually looked like a portal, and it was like a sun getting sucked into the black hole and swirling, stretching. It still looked like one of those pipes. So that being with the dark matter, and it was left for the Anunnaki for me, I couldn't believe it. Uh, you know, I was getting in trouble for that too. But what really was a situation is having so many Genesis. I was worried about how we have so many months and how we end up getting to the sixth chapter and we never do nothing about it. When you look at the six is actually five and five is actually six and six is actually seven, you'll see the one, two, three as far as that's also three and one and three dimensions. So when you know how to do that, you remember like how are we losing planets? I actually looked at it. I said seven. Seven's a bad number. Seven, eight, nine, like meaning eating, like food, feed. And that wasn't it exactly. That was just something to throw you off. But it was perfect because we are losing planets. So going from 14 planets, like China and other places now, we had uh, 13, 14, 12, 11, 9, or 10, 11. And we're at 11 or 9. 10 is the frozen on Pluto, and so we had a couple planets go into the sun. It's trying to go into the sun, but what is it doing right there? It just ends up waiting and loading. As we've dropped from up here to down here to down there so much, you could actually feel stronger as far as focusing, making sure you can handle it. Um, Long story short, I did all those different things and I learned how to use my abilities. And and I just have all these different proof type of things to show that I am Jesus, even though people were like, "We don't look like him." Well, that Jesus wasn't the real Jesus because of how he ended up being a custom of one splitting into two, and those two being one light one and one black one as far as them fighting. No, Jesus white, no, Jesus black. I ended up being the one that has to do the course upside down from BC to AD as far as being like cross and being his, because sorry, because he ends up doing things backwards, even though it didn't seem like it, and I ended up doing things forwards, but because I do things forwards, I never got to understand it, so I try to do things backwards too, and that's where I found out so much as far as not before rising up yet, but the fact that I switched. I'm sorry, I'm getting sleepy. Um, but 2D and 4D is definitely uh, 3, 4 because 2D is actually one, and one is actually zero. So you got to think about that as well, as far as a fifth element, fourth uh, Earth, and then also seven being the evil number, but it looks like six. So everyone was talking about six being evil. They were trying to act like six had to do something with BC, as far as being like black, uh, black cells. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. Like that. If you do black cells, then that means it's amino domino. You get what I'm saying? So they end up having this Mason's code as 33, and with 33, I also got the science as far as one third spiritual, one third mental, one third body. With that being said, you end up needing to do one more because three is in not accurate. For instance, you have the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. You have something that's a shithead trying to say it's all about male. When I was already trying to protest, it's male, female, boy, girl, or girl, boy on the bottom part of their children. That's why it's supposed to be 0 to 024, and then 0248, because of how it's always having those box squares of family. So when you look at 3 over 3, which is my birthday, it also is supposed to be 4 over 4 or 2 over 2 when we first started. Without the kids, it's 2 over 2. Then we have the kids, it's 4 over 4. But that 4 over 4 is just one domino. I gotta get another domino that's 4 over 4 and 4 over 4. Because when they get back together, it's an 8. An 8 and an 8 is good. You know what I mean? So that's the science right there. And when I finally look at one thing that was on the Bible, and it says, "Come to me like a child, because if you come to me like a child, then you will know my name." So Jesus coming to him like a child show you that he was the son. And who's the father? Ra. And then Ra being brought back later, that's like the Juan, Ra, or the victor being victorious. And that's why Jesus is victorious. Ra is Jesus, and Jesus is victorious. So when you look at Father, Son, with that same third one, Son is Father, you'll see that in our picture, Michael was in the Son. No, I'm sorry. Wow. Michael was actually, wow, he was tricking me. Well, I did want the name Michael because we all got mixed up, but that's shocking to know that's like, he played me good as far as deceiving because I loved the name Michael and I wanted to name my son Michael. And that's having him in the thing. I felt like originally Jesus was the father and Michael, but when I learned I was Jesus, it just hit me. And now that I'm speaking about this, I'm learning how Satan was actually trying to come back out being the black angel, Michael as a demon, being way 10 times stronger, 10,000 times stronger. And that's not cool, because if you get a demon that's actually an archangel and a dragon, mixing both the sun with the solar flares, you end up making a demon which is 10,000 times stronger. So this is some very big serious stuff, and I'm really happy because not only did Michael trick me, and it kind of hurts a little bit, I want to name my son Michael, but I remember when he took off and he flew, he was a black angel in the sky, like up there, after I said I was going to give my son to God, being in vessel. I'd rather just make sure I don't have kids, and that's my part to give to God. I didn't know that was the mission side, because on purpose side, he didn't kill his kid. With him being on an edge just like up there, how that thing is up there, he was actually not up there, but in a city, and that's a building. He looked at me that night, and then he jumped off it, and he flew off. And I always thought that he had my back. And then there was a while that, it's a trip, you ask the spirits. I'm native, but that's where I learned that we're native. You have Ra, who's native, you have Jesus, who's native, you have me that's native, the 3 and 3. But with Michael being scared, Michael being the crier, that's actually Satan. And I'm just like, dude, I'm so shocked, I'm so paused. I'm like, what? So he actually tried to manipulate Lucifer, Michael, and then Lucifer, and then trying to manipulate Lucifer. And that's why Lucifer's name has been considered the devil and lost. But Satan is actually Michael, because if you look at it, you're always thinking that Satan is a woman, God is man, Satan is a woman. Well, MS, Miss, very freaking trippy. Michael was actually Michelle. Oh, wow. Because I actually switched also, too. My body went from female in the womb to switching to being a male. And that trips me out. So Michael being the crier and no one noticed, that was a female. That poor girl. That makes me sad. And I was wrong too, because I was thinking that Michael was the father originally. When you're trying to learn about you and you have a messed up brain. They took out your pineal gland. You're never supposed to mess up the vessel, and the vessel was really, really harmed. They got to learn and trigger your shit in order to mess with the hertz, the volume hertz, and all that. I mean, we have food that was destroying us. We have air that's clogged, toxic. We have water that is polluted as well as the air. We have electricity, and we have all these things that are running off stuff with lead poisoning, fumes, vapors, all kinds of stuff. You have stuff that our bodies are no longer Archangel or Black Angel. We're now just pretty much, getting cancer in the stomach, losing the stomach lining, the film. Everything has been going to worse. Like, this is the last days. So when I thought about 500 years, 400 years, 300 years, 200 years, and 100 years and less, I was like, dude, we're not going to be back. We're not going to be around as far as humans. We're going to be extinct. So this is crazy, and this is great news. I'm just really happy that I shared that with you right now. But in all case, I am this many names already. The red dragon with the solar flares, that's the sun, and also Archangel, which is the son of God, because it's the sun, and it's also a chief as far as having the big glow right here. Remember, a halo was like Ringo Starr. It has a hole in it, so that means it has a black hole. You're trying to put the black hole behind the sun and sucks up its energy. So you have Ringo Starr, who's in many ways inhuman. That was actually Satan. So you have many different avatars, and that trips me out. I'm like, dude, you're freaking Satan. And even though you're in avatar mode, you're going to be connected with that freaking demon, that huge ass demon. If you were to see him in cloud mode and spirit mode, I mean, I was cool with Dark Nebula because it was something I caught, and that's what helped me get rid of the prison that Lucifer was in, as far as him hiding, like not hiding, but where's he at? Satan in spirit world put him in the moon. The moon was dead. It was a dead rock. When I took him out of there, being a shaman Indian type of wizard, the Dark Nebula swallowed the moon, and then when it vapored or disappeared, the dark moon was shiny, shiny, bright white. So bright. It was so bright. It was like a beautiful new place. Like if your prison just got cleaned and it was so polished. It's living now, so it's a new rock. But you know how they say that the moon reflects the earth? The moon doesn't reflect the earth as far as the mother. The moon reflects the womb, the baby. So blood moon, everyone died. The moon that's inside is sad because the mother's all filled with blood, Bloody Mary. And then you look at the moon, and it's a blood moon because it's reflecting through the hollow part, the hologram part, as far as it not being solid to be showing Earth. It's showing. I'm actually hitting like a couple bases right now, as far as it's so impressive. Like 1 or 2, 3 type of things. She was a female. She was jealous. The womb instead of Earth. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing to catch up on because, like I said, if I was 500 years of age, like growing, my mind and everything would have been kickstarted to catch on faster. But I've been doing this so long, I really got down to the lowest part of being immortal. And we didn't know that we were immortal. We thought that we always die, and sometimes we come back, but we end up resting for eternity and going to heaven. That shit was some tricky shit that Satan got to, Miss Satan got to put on us. Sister Michelle, Sister Michael's sister, you know what I mean? Like, that's a trip. So, with that, I just want to say that I am a code talker. I am a war chief. I am a village war chief. I am a flute player. I am a Navajo shapeshifter. I'm also part of the giant clan, Navajo. My part of being Ra, I'm the king of the universe because I'm able to move shit like you would never believe, and I'm really happy. I'm like, whoa. I'm also the Son, which is the S-U-N, well, as Son. And then I'm also Jesus as far as being the baby son that's in the earth. So I am all three in one. And it's the two that is one, the one that is all. The two, one, three. And you remember City of Angels? Oh man, that's where Nazareth is. Wow. See, that's the thing. Like I couldn't remember, but I am so extraordinarily happy. This is a blessing. God bless you all. Twin planet. We're gonna get things fixed because we're supposed to have 02024, and then so on in the multiple of manifestation. That's very important. So your 40101. We're not supposed to be in a matrix type of thing where Pac-Man goes ah like he's in a portal this way and that way. Why is Haley's comet going? It doesn't go. It just goes. And so these things, I just was very observant, but I failed so many times. This time recently, I talked to Archangel Brandy, and she told me he died 12 times. Well, the other day it was November 14th, and when I was talking about 12 times, and maybe I should die the 13th time, as far as somebody trying to kill me, and maybe I'd be all universe as being the 14th. Well, this is the trippy part. 777 is the monster. But if you look at 7777, that's 28. Or no. 77, 14, 77, yeah, 28. 2,100 archangels and 7 left? No. 28 archangels and 14 left. Meaning that 28 split into two purpose and a mission. So 1,400 angels as far as it being the 0 and another 0 and 1, 4. Oh, the 7 days a week. And that's 7.83. That is actually 8. Like it takes 8 minutes to get to the earth. And the frequency thingy or something, when you split it up, it's 7.83. I can't remember exactly how that works. Maybe that was the sun part. But 7777, it's actually supposed to be in 4s. Just like the elements, just like north, east, south, west. It's just beautiful that I'm just like, cool. And that's also with the cube. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 by having 1 of 2, and 2 ends up being 3. And you're like, how's that 3? Well, frequency, frequency, frequency. And it's supposed to be in 4, as in 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's squigglies with the 4, and that ends up being the big cube, the big cube, the Little Dipper, Big Dipper. I'm so fucking badass. I mean, I was growing up with so many curses, and it's not cool because of how much stuff. It's literally where they practice so much sick stuff of, doing this, and I was not doing that, but I was thinking, what if it was like that? Because I actually, it's a little bit shameful, but nothing ever happened. It's hard to talk about. The other thing that happened was it was based off of me being bewitched, set up, hypnotized, bewitched, plagued with muscle memory, having these curses, trick psychology, as well as it becoming a real magic to really make somebody jump off or do something. So with them doing a bunch of animal bestiality stuff, I almost did that when I was younger, like middle school, high schoolish, and I was a big fat boy, and I woke up when the dog was like, rawr, like, and it was one of our dogs, and that's sad. I'm the king, and God, like Almighty, an avatar of human, but Michael and all the followers of it being Satan, and nobody knew it was Michael, or the sister, Miss Michael, Satan. It's crazy that they put me through all this crazy pain because they were also somewhat bewitched, some of them weren't. Some of them were from mission, other people were from purpose. So you had to hypnotize and manipulate purpose, and then, keep it all real without ever telling that mission was the actual witchcraft stuff with deities and necromancy and all kinds of stuff. So I learned all that recently, and today's date is 10/41. That's cool. 1 Uh, one sun is four elements that equals one. Cool. November 16th. So I had November 11, 12, 13. I was talking about the life that I'm on. And then 14. I was like, dude, I'm on all four. This one is November, which is 11. And it's 16th. So it's 5-star point up. And everything is constantly been calling and talking to me. So God bless you all. And I'm glad I was able to teach you how I solved Genesis, prophecy, bad health, technology, paranormal activity, supernatural uh, disturbances, frequency, and energy. So I'm really going hardcore quantum mechanics thinking and physics and astrophysics. You know, it's just a beautiful thing to be this smart, even though people were hating me and they think I was sick. Because we're in this age where we're actually having so much LGBT or whatever, G, you know, lesbian, gay, bisexual, tranny organization or something. Well, I don't hate everyone for that, but the fact is, they made it look so bad as far as that's not right. It kind of is a way that it gets people to not do things. I mean, you wouldn't think so, but with how many times that we noticed, people actually were molesting, raping kids. That was satanic. So instead of keeping it above a certain age and doing it with older people, it really got really sad. And it was from the beginning. So when you get bewitched and taken by Satan, it's sad. It's like, Michael, you let us down, dude. You fucking, and lady, whatever, you fucking destroyed the shit out of us, you know? He got touched, she got touched, this and that, they got raped. Like, everybody had to go through that, and it's been real heavy. So for me, I've been really sad because I never wanted to be lonely. And the one that I really feel like got away, that I'm scared of talking to, it's real important with this misunderstanding because her name and all that had so much to do with biblical. Paige Kendall Heredia, you know, your Heredia, your retina, and your heritage. Uh, Medieval Egypt, shit like that really tripped me out. So, this is your King, this is your God Almighty of 2024. But I am taken back to all these planets because I don't like how strangers went to all my planets, and now I have like a book full of planets. I could easily just by my mind renew one and have it brand new, and then like have us all get there by a purge. So you got to know how to swing the magnetic polars. You know the poles, the north and south. You got to know how to switch the thingy and shit in order for them to be like, what, you know. Now we're going this way instead of that way because that's the way Michael wanted. You know what I mean? No, we're going this way now. We're gonna fix it. And when you do that, you could actually jump ship if you wanted to get close to another planet of one of mine, and you could easily have a new planet. You could have a new planet. I'm about to be a planet salesman because we've actually gone that far. But let's see. I love this planet, and I could easily fix it up how it's supposed to. It doesn't have to go through some crazy astrophysics vessel while the rest of it is renewing, and then we're like, oh shit, what the heck? But I do have the ability to take so many people from here and put them over there and put it here and there. It's beautiful. I mean, if people don't notice that today when we kind of got into it and I was fighting for my life, I actually was thinking in my head like I had a book and say this was our planet, and I'm just going to switch everyone from here to be on this book that was their planet, like say it was in the circle. So a lot of people didn't get in the way as far as thinking they were witches or demons and cop collars, and you know, them being undead and them being watchers at times, like the birds and shit. Well, I ended up just realizing right now that instead of sending them somewhere and dying, a lot of them were here and they went over here. But you know, death isn't forever, and I could easily get them back either, you know, brand new as a baby. They're not crying, they're not pissed, or might be crying but they're not pissed, or I can restart the time as far as being that that legend, you know, that could rewind time, fast forward, and get them before they got into trouble, whipped and stuff in this place isn't really good. The negative positive as far as life and death. It was just, it's not right, but I do apologize to everyone in the world. And I pray I can bring it up to y'all.